Welcome to a world of mayhem. Tonight we have a brand new band, A Deadly Endeavor, forging intense rhythms and soaring melodies that define their relentless pursuit of sonic power. Not only are they here to tell us about the band, but they wanted to release their new song on the show tonight. Jesse, this is exciting.
I know. I'm so excited.
This is our first time that we are releasing a song on here.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
We are really psyched.
That was a pretty
hey
good
guys,
intro.
and how are you doing tonight?
Good.
Awesome. Good. How's it going? Awesome.
I love the Mortal Kombat drip.
Oh, of course.
Humane.
So why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell us what your role is in the band?
I'll start. My name is EJ. I guess scream for the band, and I do other producing for the music and stuff like that.
My name's Jordan. I play guitar and do like the singing vocals in the band. I can't scream like EJ does. So.
Oh, yeah. And I'm Sky. I'm the bass player.
Awesome. So what is the backstory to how you guys got together and what inspired you guys to form the band?
It's a pretty long story, actually.
It goes back. Yeah, I mean, so me and EJ are about 6 years apart, and we met 13 years ago, 12 years ago.
Longer. It's almost 15 or. Yep, it's a long time ago.
I was fresh out of a band at the time, and I was looking for a new project. I got a few offers, and I just recently met EJ, and he's like, "Hey, man, I can scream," and I'm like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, I bet you can." He's like, "No, really, I promise I can do it." Yeah. So I went to hang out with him one day, and he kind of got me cornered, like, "Check this out, I got to show you." And he put on All That Remains song, This Calling, and he did like the whole screaming part, and I'm like, "That's it. All right, we're gonna do this." So we made a band right then and there on the spot, and played a few shows, and then kind of things kind of changed with life and all that got in the way. And then during COVID, we decided, hey, like we live a few blocks away, there's nowhere to go, might as well just start making music, and just kept rolling from there.
Yeah, the cool part about it was like the band started in like what 2011.
2011.
Yeah, something like that. But the idea like never died. Like we were always like, one day we'll play metal again. One day.
Yeah.
And when, like you said, like when the pandemic hit, we had nothing to do. And we lived at the time, we lived 4 houses apart. So we quarantined together and we were like, let's just see if we can do it again. Let's just see.
Yeah.
It.
Just curious, what kind of music were you doing in your previous band?
Well, the three of us run a rock band before that, a band called Six Fulton, with some friends of ours. And we had played Starland Ballroom about 3 days before the world shut down.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the band kind of fell off after that for obvious reasons. And then we were like, well, if there's ever a better reason to start the band up again, here it is.
Yeah.
So with you guys knowing each other, does that really factor in when you guys are creating the music and how you guys kind of play off each other?
I think so. I mean, the cool thing about it is like, I think that like we're friends first before bandmates. So it's like whenever like we're in here and like we're just making music, whether it sucks or it's good, we're always joking, we're always laughing, and we try to make sure that we keep that energy up throughout the whole entire process because, like I said, we're friends before we're bandmates, and we want to make sure that we keep that because that's more important than honestly important than the band. So
it definitely helps, being friends too. Like we have similar styles of music. We also have those bands that are kind of outliers for all of us. So it's like I kind of know where Sky's going to go at this part. I kind of know where EJ's going with this idea, just because we've known each other for so long. I mean,
yeah,
we've known each other since what, freaking like 8th grade, freshman year. Like,
Yeah.
So we kind of just have that trust in each other and that knowledge. Like I know your style. You're probably going to go here, and it just helps us to kind of flow when making music.
and it's always cool too. Like whenever we're in here, like we're not like so defensive. of like our ideas. Like there's times like we pass the guitar around and see like, dude, I have nothing. Like, let's see what you got.
Yeah, DJ plays guitar, Sky plays guitar, so it's kind of just a little carousel with the guitar. Okay, you try this, you try this, you try this, and then we find something that's
He just happens to be the best one at it, all of us at it.
So, what inspired the name?
That's you guys.
So I had been in a band when I was younger called Heroes Are the Enemy, and it was like an acronym for the word hate. And I just always loved like how strong and powerful that
And
name
you're
was.
racking up those cool names.
Yeah, right?
I remember thinking to myself, like, I'm going to top that, you know, and we sat on it for months. We even opened up like a Facebook voting thing, people to help us with names. We had a lot of really cool ideas. And I kept thinking, you know, like being in a band is such a crazy endeavor. And that word just stuck with me, like endeavor, because, you know, it's a powerful word, and it's not a word that's used very often, you know? So I kind of like that a lot. And then, you know, you're metal, so deadly and death and all that, it just kind of flows right together. And I'm like, well, you know, being in a band is kind of a deadly endeavor. You know, it's tough financially. It's tough on you, you know, as a person, and it can be stressful. So it fit the bill. And I told EJ about it, and he's like, yep, that's it. We're going to roll with that. That's it.
The cool thing was is that it sounded cool when we were 14, and it still sounds cool when I'm 29.
Wow.
And that's how our decisions are made today too. Oh, that sounds cool. We're gonna stick with it.
There we go.
But pretty much, yeah.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your new song?
Yeah. Well, the lyrics were inspired. So the funny thing about like our band is we like when I write lyrics, it's kind of like whenever I'm inspired with at the time. Like on the first album, there's a song about Star Wars on there. There's a song about Batman and Superman. There's a song about the movie The Butterfly Effect. And it's just always those like wherever we're at in that time, I guess. I always try to make it too, so like you don't really notice, but I mean we think it's funny. And this one, I was watching Punisher at the time, and the show is awesome. And
Oh my God.
when I wrote the song, it was just basically like about a hitman that wanted to that knows that he's the hitman, and like he just wants like I don't know, he just wants like people to take him down instead of him taking other people out. And when I wrote the lyrics, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. It's about the Punisher. And then I showed it to Jordan, and he was like, dude, are you okay? And I was like, dude, I swear it's about a show. Like, relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to have this thing where when EJ's writing the lyrics, he's basically telling the story from that person's perspective.
Mhm.
Whereas when I'm singing the clean parts, it's more about what's going on in his head. So that's kind of how we tackle things. And in this song, EJ's basically telling what's going on in his life. And in the chorus, it's explaining like how dark he's feeling and what he wants. And, you know, there's a part that's telling him hell's the only place that's going to accept him. And that's how he's feeling internally. It's like, there's nowhere else for me to go. And it's kind of like, you know, I don't want to jump too much on like get too dark and say like a suicidal thing, but he's just feeling like he has no way out, nowhere else to go. That's not something that he's going to tell everybody, like from EJ's perspective. But if I'm the thoughts in his head, that's kind of where he's going with it.
So, as far as little Easter eggs, like our audience always loves to hear, like, were there any things like in the studio or any little just moments that you added to this that the fans can kind of like listen for, or even like plans for the video? Or
we do have some plans for the video. It's in early stages right now. But it's kind of one of those things where we went through the song from beginning to end, and we really tried to filter out any type of issue we might have had. It's funny, like maybe nothing that the audience would know, but for us, for example, like we'll finish a song and then EJ will send me a copy of it, and there's a new piece in there that I wasn't really aware of. He's like, oh, I took your vocal and I kind of moved it here and did this. And I'm like, oh, I didn't notice that. So it's funny to us because like it comes into a certain part of the song and we were sitting here and I'm like, hey, I didn't do that. You know, it's like, oh, I kind of put you over here as well. And so for us, it's funny, Easter eggs like that, things that we weren't really expecting. But we do have some fun stuff planned for the video. I don't want to give too much away right now, but it's going to be a pretty awesome video. We have a whole storyline ready to go. We got some flames and fire in it. So
Oh, hell yeah.
expect some cool stuff.
Very, very metal. It's pretty awesome.
He's just going to let his hair down. So it's big.
You guys have a storyline, this like a concept.
So actually, speaking of concept, we're we're planning a concept album right now.
That's what I was asking. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we just feel like that's not a very common thing in metal, at least since that I've experienced, where song 1 to the end of the album is a whole concept. It's basically a movie.
I feel like concept albums, you used to see a lot more of them. Now everything is singles, so people are just putting out singles. But I feel like it's lost in artistry. It's a lost artistry, concept albums, because back when you would put out a whole entire album, it really gave you the creative freedom to explore storytelling. And now monetarily, people are going for singles because it's easier to have just one single to blow up versus an entire concept. But I think that if if all the songs bop on it, if all the songs are incredible, it doesn't matter. Like it's gonna go, very viral or whatever, regardless. If it's an entire story and it's going to interest people into checking out the rest of the album. I love concept albums, and I just think they're a real art form. So that's really exciting to hear for me.
And the cool thing about like like I said, like the first album, it was like all over the place. It was songs that we wrote from 2011, 2012, even like the like little moments where we would write songs like the 2015, 2016 era. So we were just like, let's just put out an album and just have fun. And towards the end of that album is when I think we really started to hit our stride.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, oh man, all right, so we put it out. And then this one, we kind of like wanted to like challenge ourselves. We were like, all right, we did the album, we're happy with it, but like we could just put out another album and just have fun, or we can actually like feel good about putting out the album.
What's important?
Yeah, exactly.
But Jesse, you made a great point. Like we battled with this a lot. Like, do we just put out singles? We're a little more old school when bands put out these big, powerful albums. And when it came time for us to do ours, it's like, man, well, the whole trend right now is just single after single after single. It makes sense. Think about how many times you put an album on and you're like, song number 8 was my favorite. It's tough for people to finish an entire album.
Like a lot of those old concept albums. This dog's driving me absolutely nuts. Oh my god. And if you like push him away, he's like, no, my attention. But leave me alone, please. I have so much like love. For a lot of like I'm talking about like the 12 tracks albums, because the first single on it might be like the one that everybody knows, but it's when the sentimental ties you get to re-listening to like concept albums. I feel like they kind of promote listening to them more than once because you want to hear that whole story, that you start to fall in love with like track number 7 or track number 8. Like that's the one you turn on. I'm sure we all have a song that is definitely in the list, towards the bottom, that we're like,
we all like stories. We all like stories. We all like anticipating. It's like when something's on TV and you have to wait each week to watch it, and then it hits Netflix and you're like, I'm gonna binge.
Yeah.
I'm the problem House of the Dragon right now. They're only giving me one episode a week. I'm going crazy.
But it's funny that we all say that because like on our album, the first album, like everybody's favorite song coincidentally was the last song on the album.
Yeah.
So like I guess like that worked out, and like we didn't even think that was gonna like be like a good song. We were like, oh, like we'll put it last. Like we loved it because we wrote it, and then we put it as the last track, and everybody was like, dude, Walk Away is like my favorite one. I'm like, you got through that whole fucking album and listened to that and listened to the last song? That's pretty cool.
Metal fans I feel they are by far the most like loyal and just dedicated. I mean, they are.
Absolutely.
I can agree with that. I'd be arguing with some people too online, like, because there will be some like it goes like full circle too, because there's some bands that I'm like, oh man, like that. I'm like, they've been a band for a million years, but I don't know how I feel about that album. And then you all start fighting with each other. People are like, I've recently.
Listen, this weekend I was at a metal show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was not only raining, like rain, it was pouring.
Yeah.
And there was lightning, like sparking down, like around.
Mm-hmm.
And the headliner like kept coming out and engaging with the audience, and they were close to calling it, and they just continued it. These people, they had their shocker hands in the air and just were having a ball. Like I said to my friend that had put it together, I was like, you could ask any person that was there and they probably like had a better time than if it had been sunny and just hot. Like
I went to New York last weekend to like a festival, really just to see the headliner, and it started torrentially like downpouring and thunder and lightning, and I was like, I will stand out in the thunder and lightning, absolutely, 10 out of 10. We brought ponchos. I was like, I'm seeing her play. I don't care. I was like, I don't care if I get electrocuted. So there definitely some real loyalty there, absolutely,
And
especially when
every band has a video of them playing in the rain, right? Might as well
Yeah.
Don't get him started with this.
boy.
It's like a whole other video.
what was the song that you played in the rain?
You know what it was? So I spent my whole life thinking that these bands that I saw their videos in the rain, that they were actually playing in the rain. So I'm sitting here with DJ and I'm like, what do they do with the guitars? Like, they're getting ruined. And he looks at me and he's like, Jordan, they're not actually in the rain. Like, yeah, that's CGI, or they wet themselves and it's all fake. I'm like, there's no way.
I broke this man's heart so bad.
I went back and watched everyone I could think of. It's all fake. It's all fake.
And he's like, dude, it's a lie. It's a lie. Like, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm like, no, now we can do it.
No.
Yeah, all of that thousands of dollars in equipment, like the expensive orange amps and like all these like $1 million heads that I'll never be able to afford in my life. Yeah, get rained on.
Which made it more badass to me. I'm like, they're willing to throw this all away for a video, but then apparently not. So I can't
What's
blame
the first band that comes to mind? I'm going to ask each of you, like, what is the first band that comes to mind that you wouldn't mind being in the rain for?
Oh, Azalea dying.
No.
Yeah, I gotta agree there. They're a huge part of my whole life. You know, they were my favorite band when I was in high school, and they stayed my favorite. They just keep putting out better and better music. I would pretty much go through anything to see that band. What would you say?
I'm there with you guys, but I have I think I might have been 17-ish years old and went to Jones Beach Theater, and I remember seeing Deftones opening for System of a Down, and it was pouring rain, open amphitheater, thunder, you name it, and I'm just there like.
That's a lot of people's, like, if they could go to one concert, like a lot of people's one concert, it would be that one. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
System of a Down and Deftones, incredible. Such iconic bands.
And in an amphitheater, that just sounds majestic.
Yeah, great experience.
So if you guys could play in a lineup with, who would you have on the show? Like, who do you want to play with? Or
Architects. Those are
those are
two big ones for us.
Yeah,
I might go a little old school here and say Trivium.
Yeah,
Trivium 1000%. Yes.
Trivium is awesome. Maybe Slipknot. They're awesome.
Yeah, it's hard to not say that.
Yeah. Fuck it. Metallica. Like opening for Metallica, like what?
If we're gonna reach for the stars, we might as well go there.
hey,
Yeah.
if you guys play at one of Danny Wimmer's festivals, or I mean, there's big headliners that play at those shows, like Louder Than Life, and I'm blanking on the Incarceration. Am I saying that right? Incarceration.
I know what band it is. Yeah.
I always say it wrong. I have to like train myself how to say it correctly because like it's a play on the word. So like I always mess it up. That's just me. It's my personality. But if you could play like one, do you guys prefer the venues or do you prefer festivals?
Festivals are I mean, I feel like you got to mentally prepare for a festival. You know, you go to a concert whenever, but festivals can get wild. EJ's been to a ton of festivals.
Yeah. I think playing wise, I think that like playing in venues and clubs have always been a little bit better. Playing festivals, like just like, I mean, like they're fun, but just so much stuff like could go wrong. And then we played ones that are super laid back. Like we played a motorcycle show one time, and that was, believe it or not, that was like the most chillest
Those are
festival
cool.
we've ever played. And then like I
And
think
we played at churches, and they got wild.
yeah, we played at like a church, and it was like what is going on here?
That was an experience.
The church basements or like church shows, insane. And VFW shows.
Yeah.
I seen like, man, your local VFW show. I stopped two-stepping because like after my teens, because I was at a punk show and somebody threw a chair. And when people were like skanking and two-stepping and like chair goes through the room, I really hope that people start bringing back a lot more like VFW shows and church shows, because I love them. I love their vibes. I went to an an Oi show in a VFW over the winter, and I was like, the vibes are immaculate. I love it. It's fun.
I think shows are coming back a little bit. I mean, I'm 34. I'm a little older, so from when I was a little bit younger, they had shows at VFWs every weekend.
Yeah, they did.
You didn't just go to see your friend's band. Everybody went to these shows, and they got wild and crazy. You networked, you met so many people, and I feel like we got away for that for years. But I think it's coming back now. Like we're seeing a lot more local shows pop up. A lot more people are going to have a good time.
With how commercialized like the ticket sales have been with like the Live Nation and like all that shit and Ticketmaster, it has like forced a lot of people to do a lot of kind of bring back independent venues, because nobody wants to support these venues that are owned by these big companies that were the I go to a basement show. When I pay $12, I'm actually paying the $12 when I buy these tickets to these shows that are like, the fees are like $17. It's insane, because I'm like, it's a service fee, and I'm like, the robot serving me though. It's like,
Now
I'm like,
being in the metal,
feed. So I really appreciate the artists that are choosing to play the church basements, to play the bar venues, to play these places where their fans aren't going to get these insane fees. So I just love when people are like, no, fuck that, I'm not playing that.
the DIY shows are totally blowing up.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're definitely coming back.
I mean, I've been to like so many shows lately, and they're like all just totally different kinds of shows. And like, I'm glad to see that people are branching out and doing the different style shows. Because like you said, Jesse, like the prices are insane.
Yeah, it's nuts. And it's kind of back to your roots too, like jumping back into like an old there's nothing like setting up at a VFW when there's no stage and you're right there with the people that are coming to see you. You're eye level, you're interacting with them, you feel like you're part of it, you run out into the crowd. Like you can't beat that experience being up on a stage when everyone has their height of their head is at your feet. You just walk into the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like with talking to a lot of people that have told me that they prefer them, they also were saying about merch. Like the venues now, they take quite a bit for merch. So a lot of people prefer the DIY shows just because they get to keep more of their
profit. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We were just saying that too. Like we're gearing up to play live shows, like towards the end of the summer, and like we got like all of our gear and everything together. But we were like, let's play one, let's have fun. But then like let's just rent out like a hall. We'll get some awesome bands. We'll get like a keg of beer and like we'll just have fun. And like we've been throwing around that idea for years now, and like it's like finally like we have like all of our equipment, we're ready, and it's like let's just do it. Like why not?
Yeah, be part of the crowd, be part of the people that are coming to see you, hang out with them, That's the coolest thing when you're playing a show and you head back to the merch table after you finish playing. You get to talk to people and, people say, oh, I love your music, and you build that rapport with them.
Yeah, out in Central PA, like out at Love Drafts, and I mean they have an intense metal scene out there. And you
Yeah.
guys could always hit up Nick Myers if you wanted to get in on Love Drafts.
Well, now we know.
Absolutely. We're, like EJ said, we took some time off for a while. I had a baby. EJ has one on the way. So, we took some time off, but we're ready to come back now and start playing these venues again. So, whoever has any ideas for us to play, let us know. We'll be there.
Yeah. Like we've
Where are you
been.
guys located?
We're located out of Weehawken, New Jersey.
Okay.
For those who don't know what that is, because it sounds weird, it's basically 10 minutes outside of New York City in New Jersey.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so like we could like walk right outside and we have like the whole skyline view and stuff like that's pretty awesome.
That's sick.
And yeah, like that's the place that we're getting ready to play is Dingbats in Clifton.
Okay. I think
I've heard of that place.
I've heard of that place. Yeah.
It's a really cool venue.
That's sick. There are a lot of sick venues up that way. I haven't been to a lot of shows in New York, but I went to it was hosted by St. Vitus, but it was at a venue in Queens, and I'm from Philly, so I have never seen like anything quite like that. Like where it was like there was an indoor venue in a warehouse, and outside there's a second venue. Like
Yeah, their venues are cool.
yeah, I was like, there's like so much going on here. I was like, I'm used to like, what I have at home, and we got a lot at home. We got a lot in Philadelphia, but nothing like that. It was like way like I don't see the people don't put money in the venues like that in Philadelphia. Like we don't have like they don't make it real interesting and shit. It's like here's your stage, like kind of funky looking on the inside, like But I was like, oh yeah.
So when are you playing at Dingbats?
October 12th.
Yeah, we got some pretty awesome bands that we're playing with. And
looking forward to that. We have some friends that are playing with us, and then we have some bands that we recently got in contact with and met. Really awesome people. Great Path is one of them. If you guys get a chance, check them out.
What's their name?
Great Path. They're an awesome band. Very talented. We're looking forward to. We're doing a co-headlining show with them.
Yeah, and they're really awesome. And then we got like it was kind of cool too because like the band that's opening for us, he's like a little bit of a younger guy, and he's got like his metal band, and it was kind of cool to like almost like tell him like, yo, you can play because like the guys that did that for us, like now we're doing it for them, so it's pretty cool.
Now, do you do a lot with the other metal bands in your area? Like, I know down in Florida and in Philly and the different areas, they're kind of cliquey, but
we used to have a group of bands that we played with frequently, but since we kind of took some time off, how it is, a lot of people change members and all that. So some of the bands we used to play with either on around or have completely different people now. So we've been over the past few months getting a new list of bands and people that we're networking with and jamming with. So probably get a few that we kind of take with us and we go with them and, kind of add new bands along the way as well.
Yeah,
what a great time to get out on the road in October. That's like the best time of year.
It is. Halloween right around the corner. It's not too hot. It's not too cold out. It's a good time.
Now, is that the only show that you have planned currently?
No, we have a few more in the works right now. We're just waiting on confirmation from a couple more bands that we're looking to get on the bill. But the one we have confirmed, ready to go, all the bands are in, is October 12th. And then we'll be releasing more show dates probably in a couple of weeks.
Okay. And as far as fans trying to find out like updates on where you're playing and how to get in touch with you if they want to, you to play a show with them or whatever, networking wise, what is the best way to get a hold of you guys?
I would say Instagram.
Instagram for sure, yeah.
We have Instagram and Facebook. To be honest, we're all more so on Instagram.
You're on the bottom, everybody.
But I would say Instagram is probably the best way to go. We we were kind of rebuilding. We had an older Instagram we kind of got rid of, and we're kind of rebuilding that now. So we're paying a lot of attention to it and putting some work into it. So I'd say that's the way to get the quickest response from us.
And we all have access to that one too. So like, if one of us is bound to see it like right away, and we have a group chat, so we just hit each other real quick.
Now, with having you're about to have a young child, but with having that to balance out, how is that like? How do you manage being a dad and putting in with your family and going to metal shows, because it is late hours?
Please, I would love to know.
I'm very fortunate to have a very supportive wife. I met my wife right when A Deadly Endeavor started. And she's kind of been there the whole way, and she's helped us a lot in the process too. So, even though it's difficult sometimes with the hours and work you put in, she's remained very supportive of me, and always told me, hey, if you got to run out, for something, or if you got to play a show and we don't have a babysitter, our daughter's name is Harley. I have Harley. Don't worry about it. So I would not be able to do it if it wasn't for her. So that's how I've been able to pull it off so far.
I mean, I love that so many band members are parents and that they do the all age shows, because I have an 11-year-old and I know that he doesn't want to be left behind and he wants to hear all the good music. So it's really awesome that a lot of venues, I know at least around Philly and like out in central PA, like they're doing more family oriented shows. For all ages, just watch your kids. But I mean, like, it was fun. American Mosh Pits, who is coming on I think next week, they actually go to a lot of the shows that we end up at, and they started a kids mosh pit. I was like, this is great.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That's something these kids are gonna remember forever. That's a really cool
I remember one time. I went to go see Suicidal Tendencies, and I was like right on the outside of the mosh pit because I don't get in the mosh pit anymore. I'm like, I don't want to hurt myself, but like it was so funny. Like right in front of me was this like kid. He must have been like 8 years old, and everybody was just like moshing around him, and he was just in the middle going nuts. And I was like, this is such a cool, awesome thing to like watch right now.
Yeah, I love when you go to a show and they're interacting with the kids. I know it's not like metal, but I went to a Bowling for Soup show, and they had big pool floaties, and the kids, they were crowd surfing them to the front on top of floaties. It was awesome. It must.
I love that the kids are getting involved. Absolutely. I mean, my son, he's kind of, I guess he got it from me, but I like love my merch. And now like he's like all about the merch. Like he walks out in like band tees that like of people that have been on the show or shows that we've gone to, and he's like, look at what I'm wearing. And I'm like, I love that the younger generation's taking part.
I love bands that engage the crowd in general. Like my most memorable shows are like one of my most memorable shows last year was Municipal Waste and Ghoul, and like they throw like trash all over. Like they throw trash and like have all kinds of stuff, and everybody's like throwing garbage. And I'm like, yo, Municipal Waste still fucking like they still kill it.
You gotta interact. You gotta get people involved. That's a good way to do it. You have an image to maintain. You gotta keep it going.
So, if you guys had to describe your vibe in 3 words.
3 words.
Do we all get 3 words, or is it just like one? Or is it like 1, 2, 3? I was like,
all individuals. I get it.
Melodic.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
You can't. No, you gotta get something different. Melodic. I don't care. Melodic, heavy. Fun.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's tough to put 3 words because we have such like very different styles between the three of us. You know, like Sky's into much like heavier stuff than I am. I have a big inspiration into like those early 2000s metal bands, you know, that had those like very technical riffs. Breakdowns weren't too crazy yet. You know, EJ loves the big breakdowns and all that. So we really try and hit different angles throughout the song. So it's tough to put it in 3 words, but yeah, melodic is definitely the one thing I really go for too. We're trying to incorporate so many different things.
We gotta give you a little bit of a challenge on the show.
I know that was a good one. Honestly, I've never been asked.
No words. Don't you better not go around this question. I see what you're doing there.
I do.
Don't worry, I won't let them. I'll keep going back.
A lot of our new stuff is kind of groovy too now, though.
Okay.
Some of the patterns you're playing on this new album.
Yeah, I got nothing here. We got melodic and groovy.
I definitely want to say heavy. The chunks are heavy.
Yeah, we've been working with different tunings now too. You know, we go. We have some songs with 6 strings, some songs with 7 strings, tunings as low as drop G sharp. You know, so we're definitely trying to experiment with different things as well. Like our first album had like 4 different tunings on it throughout the entire thing. So we're definitely trying to branch out. So
that was
and
so
what
cool.
are a couple of things that you're looking to add in the future? Because I love that people are trying to add new elements and really push themselves to evolve.
I think the one thing for me that I would love to add more of is him singing. Only because like from the first album, like he grew so much, and like now to like this next one, it's like he got like better.
Yeah.
And just from practicing, and like there's like songs that like, and I'm just like, dude, like you can just like take the whole song. I don't mind. Like just you can do it. Like, and I think that that's what I would want to add more of, because he has such a good voice.
it's fun, but I, at the same time, I'm like, nah, let's keep it metal. Scream, come on, do it here. I try and put him in the chorus stuff too sometimes. Like, no, just you're good where you're at. All right, fine.
So we're getting to that time that we need to give the people what they want, and we're gonna let you guys tell us a little bit about the video that's being released tonight, and we'll let everybody see it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Whoever's watching, I hope you guys, feel free to message us, tell us what you like, what you didn't like, what you want us to improve on. We're all about the feedback. So any criticism, good or bad, let us know. You're not gonna.
And where will they be able? Real quick before we release it, where will they be able to find this? Like, are you guys more towards Spotify, Apple Music? I mean,
it's everywhere.
Yeah, all 3 of us listen to 3 different platforms. I'm YouTube, he's Spotify, and he's your Apple, right?
I'm on Apple, yeah.
So we release it everywhere.
So because we're all like, no, I'm not using. I tell him all the time, I'm not using Spotify. I'm not doing that. He's like, but I'm giving it to you for free.
Yes, anywhere, whatever works for you guys, you can hear it. All streaming platforms, it's going to be available.
Yeah, we use DistroKid, so it gives it out. Even like when a new one comes out, it gives it right away to that new one.
And so the song is called "Take Me Down."
Yes.
Okay, you're getting Jesse and my blind reaction, and here you go, viewers.
Try to arrest the past I tried. Only the light at the end of the tunnel.
guys got a lot of good shit in there.
I know. Every time I was like, okay, like then they like threw something else at me. I'm like, wow.
I was like, I heard somebody throw out the word technical, and I'm hearing like earlier, and I was trying to figure out with some of the descriptions you guys used in your music, like where I was like, technical, huh? Yo, shredding. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, the solos you had in there. I was like, all right, technical. Whoa. I just like, I heard that like in passing, like you guys just briefly mentioned that, but I had,
Banger.
yeah.
Banger.
So much.
Easy.
Like I loved, because I love that little like punk.
You guys had like a
When
two-step
they came in at
ballad
the end.
in there, like in the like middle of that. I was like, somebody can two-step. I was like, it went from like there was like this little like two-steppy bridge in there. I was like, they packed this with everything that a girl could want.
Yeah,
That's what we wanted to do. Like I said, we all
Wrote that on TikTok.
Yeah, it was like a lot of different like elements going on, and you guys really pieced it together perfectly.
it was so funny because when we were recording this song, we were just having like fun, and then like we recorded it, and we just like put it away, and we were like, oh, we'll get to it like when we get to it, because we what we thought we had better songs, which we did, which the last two singles we recorded were just as good as this one. And
Yeah.
then when we were like, all right, we got to get back into the studio. We looked at this one and we were like, dude, this is pretty good. We should try to get in here and do this. And we just had such a good time recording it. It was a blast, honestly.
It was fun. We got to like some of the other tracks we released, like Anxiety was more of like that's straight up metal. You know, it's got these heavy breakdowns and all that. So we came with this song. It was like let's spice it up. Let's throw everything that we all like into one song, and work on connecting these pieces together so it flows well. And I feel like we.
And I was here for it. That was amazing. Like I never know when people that sing like the heavier music, like when they come to me and they're like, listen to it. I was saying to Jesse earlier, like, we're really gonna do this blind reaction because I can't like fake it.
Yeah,
Like, if I didn't like it, I know like that. It really was incredible, and thank you so much for letting us release it.
Yeah, definitely. It's like I can't wait to like for everybody to hear it and like give us like their reaction. Your reaction was like the one that I wanted. I was like, oh, this is great. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I was like really surprised at the amount that you guys were able to do with one song. Like,
And I'm excited now to see what you guys do with the music video.
Yeah.
Because like hearing it, like you make up your own kind of like story a little bit in your head. But like I'm really excited to see what you guys do with the video from your mind and how you see it.
We got some good ideas, we're looking forward to. That's like a new area for us. We would do music for a long time, but we haven't really delved into that whole music video thing. So it's fun for us now because it's new. It's like, oh man, what do you want to do here? What do you want to do here? To kind of write this process and put the music into a visual. So it's a really exciting time.
Well, that's so exciting for you. And we will literally have it on all of our social media and make sure that we give it a big push. And everybody go listen to them.
Yeah.
And there's only one song. They have other songs. Listen to their other songs. Share, listen, over listen.
Yeah. The new stuff that we're putting out, I think is our best stuff that we've ever written. And I can't wait to really get back in here and put out the other ones because they're just amazing.
Like I only heard a few. So like I'm excited to go and like really dive in and listen to all your songs from before now. Like great job. Seriously.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on and talk to us and tell us what you have going on.
Thanks for having us. It's honestly a real honor. We're very happy to be here.
Yeah. share it with everybody, with you guys, and hopefully you guys can come out to the show when we
You're
play
getting smiles out of Jesse. Like you're getting smiles.
it.
Yeah, right.
But and we can post about New York, but if you guys get any gigs around Philly,
You come to Philly, we'll be there.
Definitely.
We 100% plan to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
thanks guys.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, that was so fun. Like
I know, right?
I love when bands like add all those elements, and I was really like on the edge of my seat for most of it because I was like, what's gonna happen next? Like what's gonna happen next? Like after hearing the first like 2 changes, I'm like, what's next? And then that little bit of that punk at the end.
I know. It was like they had like a little 2-step beat. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, like those instrumentals were sick.
Yeah. I've been really into technical guitar lately, so I was like super excited to hear that because I've been like really into that these days.
And real quick, before we get off, I just want to give a huge thank you to Tom Taylor, Vertigo Entertainment, and Alisana for this weekend. Jesse, I'm telling you, you would have loved them. You loved Alisana. They were incredible. They showed up. And you know what? It was just great seeing all of the people in the crowd and like just.
I'm sure that they have been around for a very long time, so I'm sure that the fans came out.
Well, it wasn't, and the best part, it wasn't just that. It was like I Set to Kill, Limbs, Secrets were great. Like I look at their merch first, and like the ones with really cool merch, I'm like, oh, like I wonder what their music's like because they have all the merch. Secrets, they had awesome merch, and then they were like incredible. That's awesome. Alisana, Vampires Everywhere. I was like all about it, dude. When Teenage Dream came on, like what? I'm pretty sure I like was belting the lyrics out so loud that I like overpowered the band, but it's okay. I was having fun.
That's what matters.
But
I'm happy you had an awesome weekend, dude.
Did you do anything fun this weekend?
This weekend. So what is it? What's it? I don't know. Everything. So I'm sure I did. What was it? Today's Monday. So, yeah, I definitely did. I'm trying to remember what I went to. I was supposed to go see Warthog in Brooklyn, but I went and saw King Woman the week prior, and that was crazy. And I had a really exhausting weekend last weekend. So this weekend I mostly chilled. Like, I like just like kind of recharged because
I was at this festival literally from like 3:00 until midnight.
I went thrifting. I went
That's always fun though.
Yeah, I went thrifting. I had like a busy weekend, but it wasn't like horrible.
I always see that meme. It's like usually on mom sites about getting the party bus and going to all the thrift stores.
Yeah.
And like, every time I see the meme, I'm like, why don't we do that?
I know I went out Saturday, but I can't remember what I ended up doing Saturday. Like I know I went out, but I'm like, where the hell did I go?
Jesse.
Oh, I went. I was like, I know. Oh, I went and saw the Hardy I went and saw the Hardy Boys wrestle. And so if you're a wrestling fan, you know who the hell the Hardy Boys are. So I went and saw the Hardy Boys, and that was like, and it was cool. I went and saw them at the 2300.
Were they like really fun?
They were like, yeah, it was like crazy. It was like a crazy time. It was like good. I made a friend with the person next to me. But
they were always like one of my favorites. I
Yeah.
always enjoyed, like, especially when they would jump off the side or like jump
Oh,
off
yeah.
the ladders. Like, I just loved it.
It was pretty cool. And I was like, why can't I remember? I was like, because Spider played and the Spits also played. The Spits played at Photo Club, and it was really hard to get a ticket because it sold out like immediately. But yeah, that was my weekend. And then Sunday is there's a flea market in my town, and the whole town does it, and it's like a block party every single month. So I went to that, and it was super cool. But yeah, that's what I did this weekend. I was like, I know I did a bunch of shit, but it wasn't like so big. It was all in Philadelphia versus like last weekend. I was like, oh, I'm Miss International, bitch. I'm all over the place. So I did
Well,
that.
thank you